Everyone thinks expensive beer means better beer, but that's completely wrong. The best cheap beer in America costs less than Bud Light and tastes better than craft brews. Professional brewers have been hiding this secret for decades. Today, we're tier ranking 10 famous cheap beers from absolute F-tier disasters to S-tier hidden gems that'll revolutionize your beer buying forever. The secret is, incredible cheap beers exist if you know where to look. F-tier, the disasters. But first, you need to see just how bad things can get. These F-tier nightmares will make you appreciate what's coming later. Steel Reserve. Let's start with the absolute worst. And trust me, you'll understand why this makes the good stuff even more shocking. Steel Reserve glows an unnatural pale yellow that screams, "Chemical experiment gone wrong." You expect high-alcohol beer to at least taste like beer, but this delivers a metallic punch that burns your throat and leaves you questioning life choices. Unlike craft high-gravity beers that balance strength with flavor, Steel Reserve tastes like someone dissolved aluminum cans in malt liquor. College students drink this because it's cheap and gets you drunk fast. But real beer drinkers know better. And after you see what's coming in A tier, you'll never touch this garbage again. Spend $2 more on Tecate, and you'll get actual beer flavor without the regret. Steel Reserve isn't just bad beer, it's punishment in a can. F-tier verdict: avoid at all costs. Natural ice. Joining Steel Reserve in F-tier hell is natural ice. And this disaster will make you even more grateful for the hidden gems I'm about to reveal. This copper-colored disappointment promises the strength of ice beer with Budweiser quality, but delivers neither. It hits your palate with artificial sweetness, followed by a harsh, bitter finish that lingers like a bad decision. The brewing process adds extra alcohol through freeze distillation, but unlike legitimate ice beers from Canada, Natty Ice tastes like they forgot the beer part entirely. Fraternity brothers chug this for the 5.9% ABV, thinking they're getting value. But wait until you see what real value looks like in our top tiers. Here's the reality. Higher alcohol doesn't equal better beer when the base product tastes like corn syrup mixed with rubbing alcohol. Miller High Life gives you clean taste at similar prices, and spoiler alert, it's going to blow your mind later. Natural ice proves that some beers deserve their terrible reputation. If you've ever wasted money on these F-tier disasters, hit that subscribe button so you never make these mistakes again. And drop a comment telling me which terrible cheap beer traumatized you the most. I bet half of you have Steel Reserve horror stories. D tier, barely beer. Now we're climbing out of hell. But don't get comfortable yet. This D tier disappointment will make you realize how much better things are about to get. Keystone Light. Keystone Light sits alone in D tier because it's not offensively bad like those F tier disasters, but it's barely beer, and that's going to make the B tier reveals even more satisfying. This crystal clear liquid promises refreshment, but delivers water with delusions of grandeur. You expect light beer to be mild, but this takes light to mean completely absent of flavor. Coors markets this as always smooth, but smooth doesn't mean good when there's nothing to be smooth about. Outdoor enthusiasts grab 30-packs thinking they're getting deals, but you're essentially paying for expensive water with a beer label, which makes what's coming in our top tiers absolutely mind-blowing. Here's the thing. Unlike Busch Light, which actually tastes like beer and earned its way into B tier, Keystone Light vanishes on your tongue like it was never there. Spend $5 more on Hamm's cases, and you'll get actual beer character that'll shock you. Keystone Light is the participation trophy of cheap beer. Technically beer, but why bother when perfection is waiting ahead? C tier, controversial territory. Here's where I'm going to make some enemies, but stick with me because the payoff is coming. This controversial placement will make sense once you see what real excellence looks like. Bud Light. Here's where things get spicy. And I know this placement will trigger people, but wait until you see what beats it. Bud Light pours pale gold with decent clarity, and you expect America's favorite beer to deliver something special. But here's the reality check that's going to save you money. This is the most overrated cheap beer in existence. Budweiser's rice adjunct brewing creates a clean but utterly forgettable taste profile. The carbonation hits sharp, then fades to nothing, leaving you wondering why 40 million Americans choose this over the superior alternatives I'm about to reveal. Marketing executives love Bud Light because it's safe and familiar, but you're about to discover beers that are better and cheaper. But here's what beer lovers know and what's going to blow your mind in the top tiers. Unlike Miller High Life, which costs less and tastes better, Bud Light is paying premium prices for mediocre beer. PBR delivers more character for less money. Bud Light isn't terrible. It's just expensive disappointment disguised as quality. C-tier placement because it's drinkable but completely overrated, and you'll see why in just a minute. If you're realizing you've been getting ripped off by overpriced mediocrity, smash that like button because we're about to enter B-tier territory, where things get genuinely good. But hold on to your wallet. The A and S tier reveals will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about cheap beer. B tier, solid choices. Finally, we're getting somewhere. These B tier champions prove cheap beer doesn't have to suck, but they're nothing compared to what's waiting in A tier. Natural Light. Natural Light earns its B tier placement because it delivers exactly what it promises without pretension. And it's about to make you question why anyone drinks Bud Light. This pale, crystal-clear lager looks innocent enough, but provides surprising drinkability that catches people off guard. You expect watery disappointment based on reputation, but Natty Light actually delivers clean, refreshing taste that puts C-tier to shame. Anheuser-Busch's all-malt brewing process creates a genuinely smooth drinking experience. College students discovered this decades ago. It's crushable, affordable, and doesn't punish you the next morning like higher alcohol alternatives. Outdoor workers and tailgaters swear by cases of Natty Light for good reason. And once you taste what's coming in A tier, you'll understand why quality doesn't require a premium price. Unlike Keystone Light's flavorless profile, Natural Light maintains subtle grain character while staying incredibly light. This is blue-collar America's beer of choice, and they're not wrong. But wait until you see what Texas has been hiding from the rest of us. B-tier verdict. Honest, unpretentious beer that delivers value. Busch Light. Busch Light shares B-tier with Natural Light because it proves light beer doesn't have to sacrifice flavor for drinkability, and it's going to make the A-tier revelations even more shocking. This beer pours with a slight golden hue and clean white head that actually looks like beer should. You expect typical light beer blandness, but this delivers genuine beer flavor in a crushable package that'll prepare you for the excellence ahead. Anheuser-Busch's traditional brewing methods create a crisp, clean taste with subtle corn sweetness and zero harsh aftertaste. Hunters, fishermen, and lawn-mowing heroes choose Busch Light because it refreshes without overwhelming your palate during activities. The carbonation level hits perfectly, not too sharp, not too flat, which makes it a perfect stepping stone to what's coming next. Unlike artificial tasting competitors, Busch Light maintains authentic beer character while staying light enough for all-day drinking. This is rural America's sophisticated choice. They want real beer taste without heaviness, and they're onto something. B-tier status earned, reliable, flavorful, and genuinely refreshing. But you haven't seen anything yet. A tier, exceptional value. Now we're entering legendary territory. These A-tier champions are about to destroy everything you thought you knew about cheap beer. But even they bow down to what's waiting in S-tier. Tecate. Welcome to A-tier excellence, where your mind is about to be blown. Tecate glows beautiful copper gold with crystal clarity that immediately signals quality brewing. And this is where American beer companies should be embarrassed. You expect typical Mexican lager, but this delivers sophisticated balance that puts American competitors to shame and makes you wonder why you ever settled for less. Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma's traditional brewing creates a smooth, malty foundation with subtle hop character and zero metallic aftertaste. Mexican beer lovers have known this secret for decades, while Americans overpaid for inferior products. Tecate offers premium taste at budget prices that'll make you question every beer purchase you've ever made. The finish stays clean and refreshing without the harsh bite plaguing American alternatives. Unlike corn-heavy American lagers, Tecate uses quality malted barley for genuine beer flavor that rivals craft breweries. This is what Mexican brewers drink when they want quality without pretension, and they've been laughing at us this whole time. You're getting craft-level brewing at macro prices, but wait until you see what Texas has been hiding. Lone Star. Lone Star earns A-tier status as Texas's best-kept secret, and this revelation is going to make you furious you didn't know about it sooner. This beer pours brilliant gold with perfect clarity and a lasting white head that screams quality brewing. You expect regional beer mediocrity, but this delivers sophisticated flavor complexity that embarrasses national brands and costs half the price. Pabst's traditional brewing methods create beautiful malty sweetness balanced by subtle hop character and a crisp, clean finish. Texans have been guarding this secret for generations, while the rest of America overpaid for garbage. Lone Star offers genuine craft-quality taste at convenience store prices. The mouthfeel stays smooth and refreshing without any harsh chemical notes that plague mass-market beers. Unlike mass-market alternatives, Lone Star maintains old-school brewing integrity with modern consistency. This is what Texas brewers created when they wanted to prove American beer could compete globally, and they succeeded beyond imagination. What's crazy is you're getting premium brewing techniques for less than Bud Light prices. But even this masterpiece can't touch what's waiting in S-tier. Hamm's. Hamm's completes our A-tier trio as the brewer's secret weapon, and this is where things get absolutely insane. Professional brewers consistently rank Hamm's as the best cheap beer in America, and one sip explains why. But it also makes you realize how badly you've been getting ripped off. This beer pours pale gold with exceptional clarity and a persistent white head that signals serious brewing craftsmanship. Miller's traditional methods create an incredibly smooth mouthfeel with subtle malty sweetness, zero bitter aftertaste, and a crisp finish that leaves you wanting more. Here's what's crazy. Professional brewers actually choose this for their own personal drinking because it represents brewing done right, while consumers pay triple for inferior products with better marketing. Unlike adjunct-heavy competitors, Hamm's maintains perfect balance between malt character and drinkability. You're getting premium brewing techniques at gas station prices, which is honestly mind-blowing when you think about it. But even this incredible value can't prepare you for the S-tier champion that's about to change everything. S-tier, the champion. This is it. The moment that's going to revolutionize how you buy beer forever. What you're about to discover will make you question every beer decision you've ever made. Miller High Life. Standing alone in S-tier perfection is Miller High Life, the undisputed champion of cheap beer that's been hiding in plain sight while you overpaid for inferior alternatives. This beer pours brilliant champagne gold with diamond clarity and a lasting white head that justifies its champagne of beers nickname. You expect marketing hype, but this delivers genuine brewing excellence that puts expensive competitors to shame and costs less than everything else. Miller's cold-filtered brewing process creates perfect balance, smooth malty foundation, subtle hop character, and a crisp finish that stays refreshing from first sip to last drop. Beer experts consistently rank High Life as the best value in American brewing, and now you know their secret. The carbonation level hits perfectly, creating that signature champagne-like effervescence that makes every other cheap beer feel flat and lifeless. Unlike corn-heavy alternatives, Miller High Life uses premium malted barley and traditional brewing methods for authentic beer flavor that rivals craft breweries. This recipe hasn't changed since 1903 because it was perfect from day one. While other companies cut corners and raised prices, Miller perfected the formula. You're getting premium brewing quality for less per ounce than any competitor, which means you've been getting robbed every time you bought anything else. Miller High Life proves the best cheap beer in America has been sitting right there in every gas station cooler, laughing at everyone who paid more for less. This is the beer that makes everything else look like a scam. Miller High Life just earned its S-tier crown, proving that the best cheap beer has been sitting right there in every gas station cooler while you got ripped off. Which regional cheap beer should we tier rank next? Yuengling, Rainier, or something completely different? Drop your tier predictions below and smash that subscribe button for more money-saving discoveries. Check out our expensive versus cheap beer blind taste test next to see how these stack against premium brands.